at the beginning, we found the abundance of bifidobacteria in the gut of infants, which feed with breast milk, and this it's really attract our attention to continue the research in bifidobacteria. And till now, we have found many good bifidobacteria streams, such as BB536. As you know, the fluctuate of bifidobacteria in our gut and the virus depends on the different stage of our life. And we know the bifidobacteria is a beneficial gut microbiome because maintain our gut environmental and contribute to our overall health. And we know the lower level of bifidobacteria linked to virus health issues. And so far, more than 120 species of bifidobacteria were found in this world. But consumers are still confusing how to choose the right bifidobacteria strain for them and for their babies, for the family. So, and after 50 million core evolution, and the bifidobacteria living in human and the animal guts are totally different. For example, you cannot find Bifidobacterium infantis in a mouse gut in nature. So since 2015, Morinaga, our company, firstly classified bifidobacteria living in human gut as HRB. We called it human resistential bifidobacteria. And we firstly proposed this concept. And the HRB can be divided into the infant type and the adult type. So we also classified the rest of them as the non-HRB. So when you heard the HRB concept, you may ask me these questions, and what determines the different habitats of virus bifidobacteria, and what's the functional difference between them? So I think we had the same questions as you at that time. So first we cultured the HRB and non-HRB with human breast milk for 24 hours, and finally we found the only HRB grew very well. So we want to know why. So why HRB species can grow well in human milk? We noticed that the HMO in human breast milk is a very important component for the gut bacteria growth. So we investigate the genes related to the HMO utilization, and finally we found only infant HRB have a lot of these genes, and non-HRB didn't. But there is a very strange thing is that the non-HRB can use the lactose in the human breast milk. Why they were killed at last? So we think it's a lysozyme. So lysozyme is a gift from mother to the babies to protect them against the pathogenic infection. So as this black line shows in this graph, so HRB can grow very well under a condition with lysozyme, but the non-HRB cannot. So this is the answer to the question 1. It's a human breast milk. So HRB can use the HMO as the extra energy, and at the same time, the HRB is tolerant of lysozyme. But the human breast milk eliminates the non-HRB because non-HRB cannot use the HMO as the extra energy. But the worst thing is the non-HRB is susceptible to a lysozyme. So we conclude that the HRB is a result of the core evolutions and mutual adaptation with breast milk. And the second question you may ask, why human breast milk choose HRB? Because as this slide shows, the HRB have many another advantages, such as degradation of food-derived opioid peptides. So HRB can also produce many folate folate is good for baby development, yeah. And ILA, yes, this is very important. So this is all answer to the 2 questions, but if you are still struggling which type of bifidobacteria should you choose, I think you should think about these questions as my way. I think it's, you can resolve this question easily. So as a pioneer in bifidobacteria research in the world, Morinaga has established theories of HRB strains. We have the HRB family like these pictures. Yeah. Yes, and we also have postbiotic strains. So today I want to give you a simple introduction of our 2 HRB members. One is the B3 and another is MCC1274. So let's have a look at this set of data, and this data is published by World Obesity Federation in 2023. And this data tells us after 10 years, the people of obesity in the world will exceed 50%. And from a physical standpoint, and storing fat in our body can help us fight against the cold. But staying overweight, it's a lot of normal things, I think. So the obesity not only change how you look, but also disrupt your metabolism. So many previous research showed that staying overweight or obese can significantly increase the risk of developing chronic conditions such as dyslipidemia and high blood pressures, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease compared to the healthy people. Okay, this is a result in animal and in human, and we can see the obesity can change the composition of the gut microbiome in mouse, and the same result was also found in human. And this is a very classic experiment and published 12 years ago in Science Journal. And the 2 men were twins with the same gene type, and after transplanting their gut microbiome to the germ-free mouse. Even the germ-free mouse was fed with normal food, but the fat accumulations were totally different. So this results told us the obesity can change our composition of gut microbiome. Conversely, and the gut microbiome can also affect our fat accumulations. So 10 years ago, Morinaga started to screen for ideal bifidobacteria strains with effect on body fat. So finally, we found the strain we are looking for. It's a B3. And B3 has obtained the GRAS certification from FDA in 2022, and B3 has 21 scientific publications. Of course, include some clinical trials. So the safety of B3 has been fully proven. And this is our double-blinded clinical trials, and we can see we recruit the healthy adults with high BMI and supplemented with B3 and 20 billion CFU per day, and after 12 weeks compares to the placebo group, and the intake of B3 and showed a significant separation in both the body fat and the fat mass. And the waist circumference showed a significant lower than placebo group. And additionally, we also found the muscle mass was higher than placebo group after 8 weeks intake of B3. And this is our another double-blinded clinical trials conducted in South Korea. And we can see we also recruit the healthy adult with high BMI and after 12 weeks interventions, and we can see the intake of B3 showed a significant improvement on body fat mass, the weight, the BMI, and the waist and the hip circumferences. Okay, this is a simple summary of these 3 double-blinded clinical trials, and we can see as a result shows B3 really helps improve metabolic health. And I want to see these results are unique because we didn't control any diet or exercise of each subject during the intervention. So we can see this as the efficacy of B3 is purely coming from the intake of B3. And there is some another interesting data in terms of the gut barrier functions. We can see and we observe that we are adding B3 into the cultivation of CACOR2 cells and increased the expression of the tidal junction protein, Claudin-4. So this result implies that the B3 has a potential to enhance the gut barrier integrity in our gut. Yes, yeah, it's a simple conclusion. And the left side demonstrates what happens in people and usually eat a high-fat diet. And we can see, and in this case, their gut barrier became weak and leaking. And we can see the inflammatory substances can invade the system easily and affect their organ negatively, such as the liver and the blood vessels, as well as promoting the fat accumulation. And all these changes contribute to the metabolic syndromes. But on the right side, we can see intake of B3 improves the gut barrier and prevents the invasion of the harmful substances. So, and reduce the risk of inflammation and fat accumulation, and finally, lowering the risk of metabolic syndrome. Because the raw material powders of B3 produced by Morinaga has an excellent survival rate during the storage period, so and it maintains production high quality during the shelf life. And in terms of the applications, as this you can see, our HRB ingredient can provide you exceptional flexibility. It can be formulated as oil drops and sachet and capsules and other formats. And this picture shows a range of already launched products currently on sale in Japan and in China. Okay, and please allow me finish up on B3 and switch to our another HRB members. And I think most of you have heard of and watched this movie, is The Father. And this movie showed what life is really like and how tough and how strong, how confusing it is with dementia. Okay, the prevalence of dementia in the world was 57 million in 2021, reported by WHO. And we know that this number is still increasing, and by 10 million every year. And we know that dementia related to high death rate and huge economic losses. And I think actually in Japan, the cancer is number 2, but the dementia is the number 1 disease that the old people really don't want to get. So I think most of you would like to avoid being dementia, but the still things is that dementia is a future problem, a future disease. And as you know, the underlying factor causing dementia, the beta amyloid protein began to accumulate in your brain as early as 20 years ago, before the onset of this disease. So taking some precautionary action seems like necessary. So this is overall progression of the dementia development. We can see from its earlier symptoms to the worsening of the conditions. And even during the early stage, the MCI, the mild cognitive impairment, and take a timely intervention can still provide you a very high possibility of maintain or slowing the decline in cognitive functions. So let me have a look at the gut-brain axis, the GBA. So GBA consists of bidirectional communications between the central nervous systems and the enteric nervous systems, connecting your brain with your gut microbiome. So it has become the very popular research topic recently. And many research showed that the gut microbiome play a very important, significant role in the interaction. So we can understand that the unhealthy diet and the use of antibiotics will lead to dysbiosis in our gut. It will affect our brain health, and of course, including the anxiety and the depressions. So there are virus linkage are involved in the GBA, such as the immune system, the vagus nerve, and the neurotransmitters, bacterial metabolites, and others. So this background lead us to and to investigate possibility that the probiotics intervention in our gut environment may affect our brain health via GBA. And this is another clinical research conducted in the United States, and we can see in the gut of patients with Alzheimer's disease, their abundance of bifidobacteria decreased sharply compared to the healthy people, as well as the microbial diversity. And this result shows that composition of the gut microbiome are different in the Alzheimer's disease patients. So this finding lead us to identify potential probiotics, especially bifidobacteria strains, and may maintain or improve our cognitive functions. And here is the strains. Here is MCC1274, and a dedicated strain for cognitive functions. And this strain holds a lot of patents related to the cognitive functions and have obtained approvals for its functionalities and safety. Because, for example, the food with functional claim in Japan and GRAS certification from FDA in United States. Okay, this is a simple research history of MCC1274, and we published our first basic study in 2017, and suggesting that MCC1274 has a potential to prevent cognitive dysfunctions. And the following year, the 2018, we published our first clinical trials research study. And to date, we continue to accumulate evidence through both the basic study and the clinical study. And to date, the 16 scientific papers has been published related to B3. And this is our first clinical trials, a pilot study, and 19 elder people with MCI was recruited and supplemented with MCC1274, 20 billion CFU per day, and after after 24 weeks, and we can see intake of MCC12CM4 improved the MMSE score and bring them back into the normal range and healthy range. It suggests that the MCC12CM4 has potential to improve the cognitive functions. Of course, we can conduct another double-blinded RCT, and we can see the 80 healthy older adults suffering from MCI was recruited and divided into two groups, receive either MCC12CM4 or placebo, and for 16 weeks. We use the R-bounds assessment to evaluate the change of cognitive functions before and after the intervention. And the R-bounds test is a brief test for screen for or evaluate general cognitive function, including the immediate memory and the delay memory, attention, language, and the visual spatial construction skills. And it is widely used in the world for diagnosing dementia and neuropsychological disorders in younger people and adults. So let's have a look at this result. The intake of MCC12CM4 actually improved the total assessment score by using R-bounds method, and it suggests that it indicates that the MCC has a positive effect on the cognitive functions. And another noticeable improvement also observed, for example, the immediate memory, the delay memory, and the visual spatial construction skill. And this is our another representative double-blinded clinical trials. And even the design is almost the same as before. Please notice that we not only the cognitive test, but also the brain MRI test was performed to evaluate the effect of the MCC12CM4. And this is the result. We can see the cognitive test showed a significant increase on the item of the orientation. So on the right side, this brain MRI result. We can see the colored region in these pictures shows areas of brain atrophies, and as the left side is a placebo group. We can see the colored area increased, and it means the brain atrophy is spreading, increasing. And on the right side is the MCC12CM4 group. We can see the colored area are getting smaller. So our measurement result also confirms these changes, and it means the intake of MCC12CM4 really helps with a shrinking happening and in the brain gray matter. Where the neuron locate. And okay, it's some summary. And because MCC12CM4 is a very good HRB strains, and it can survive very well after intake in our gut, and moreover, the MCC12CM4 can produce many beneficial metabolites such as the IOA, the acetate, and isoflavones. And these metabolites can cross the BBB, the blood-brain barrier, and reach our brain. And many previous research reported that this metabolite can inhibit the production accumulation of amyloid beta protein, and can reduce the chronic inflammation and prevent the neuronal death through the circulatory systems, as the immune systems, and the vagus nerve. So we believe that these metabolites have a potential of maintaining or improving our cognitive function. So MCC12CM4 is the first bifidobacteria which shows memory maintaining functions with single strain in the world. So we set the dosage as 20 billion CFU per day based on our previous clinic evidence. So because we have the food with functional claim in Japan, so we can write the claim reaching our gut and working on our brain on the package, as this picture shows. Okay, this is award week. The MCC 1274 and the B3 options in these years. And the left side is VITAFOODS Europe Innovation Award. And the right side is the Functional Foods for Wellness Industry Award. Yeah. Okay, this is the final page, and this is the take-home message we prepared for you, including the HRB and the B3 and MCC 1274. If you want to discuss more details about HRB with us, or discuss more potential possibilities with ours, welcome to our booth D01, and we are waiting for your coming. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.